going on? It's Tosh Boone's Culture Lock Rundown. Get a couple hot topics, then I get out of your head like I was never even there. With that said, happy Cinco de Mayo. Take a shot for me. On to the first topic. So, update on the Shannon Sharpe news. An ex has popped out the woodworks, Michelle Evans, and she's been speaking about her situation with Shannon Sharpe. And they've already had a prior civil suit going on prior to his situation now. But she basically is speaking out, I guess, to pump new life into her civil case because, of course, makes sense. She ended up stating that Shannon Sharpe also forced himself onto her in a situation.
What happened that day?
It was fighting. It was the biggest argument that we ever got in. You know, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. He wouldn't take no for an answer, so he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth, and after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, you know, this was all a struggle. So I had said no. It was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard. I remember he got dressed. He knew what he did. And so, you know, I just kind of escorted him out the door. If I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me, which he basically has. Then he started making other threats against my life. He just was so worried that it would get out, and I wasn't going to do anything. He told me he was watching me, and all that. I just went and got a protective order. Unfortunately, shortly after, he doxed me, and my address got out, and I had somebody stop by my apartment, and somebody came up to my door and said, "Shut up," screamed it at the top of their lungs. And I had my daughter in there right there, and I was like, oh no. And so I went and I dropped it, because also at my house, somebody came and sat out front in the driveway while my daughter was there alone.
Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows.
She has said she didn't want to deal with him anymore because he cheated, basically. And she said Shannon Sharpe was not trying to hear any of that. He forced her to her knees, and then he forced her onto the bed, and intercourse was had. She said she then kicked him out after that happened, and thus the civil suit followed. Of course, people ask, why didn't she file a police report when the situation happened? Because of how she verbalized that it happened. She said she didn't file a police report because of fear. She was in fear of what he could have happen to her career. She also works in media. She was in fear of allegedly threats that he was making to her life. And she was also afraid if she went to the police station. She stated that he knows a lot of police officers, so she didn't know who she would be speaking to if she decided to go to the police station, so she didn't. She also claimed that he doxed her, and if you don't know what that means, like, he put her address out on the internet. And she said people would show up at her house, and that also put her in more fear, etc., etc. She stated she did try to get a order of protection against Shannon Sharpe, but the judge denied it. It's not that easy to get. You got to have some real deal, claims for that. Of course, Shannon's team denies the entire thing. Didn't happen. Never happened. She's lying. The allegations and claims are all ridiculous. And people like Michelle Evans, they're popping out because of the situation that's happening now, so they're trying to dog out. At least that's his excuse. I don't know. When it rains, it pours. Right now, it's a monsoon over there in Shannon Sharpe town. Hope he gets through it, but we'll see how that goes as things develops. It seems to keep getting deeper and deeper and messier and messier. But let's move on to some more legal information. The Diddy Trial starts today. The jury selection, to be exact, starts today, which means that, the ball is officially in motion. Things are moving now. And Diddy team did try to push this trial date back for for 3 more months or so that they can gather more evidence that they have developing. They got things coming. They said we need more time. And the judge said, no. That's okay. You guys can figure it out as it goes along. We got to get this going now. I got things to do. So now it's officially starting. We've been waiting for this trial to start. Diddy had a plea deal offer, and he denied it. So he has some strong confidence or some strong delusion. But now the trial is here, so we ain't really got to speak about it because we're going to see. The ball is officially rolling. And speaking of balls, the Met Gala is tonight in New York City, where all your favorite who's and rich elite socialites get dressed up in theme-centric outfits and prance around for you and go giggle and sip on expensive drinks inside of a ballroom. The main theme this year is tailored for you. Not really sure what that means, but there's also like a subcategory, for people that want to take the extra challenge. So the real theme is dandyism. If you don't know what dandyism is, I didn't really know. And as I looked it up, it's basically how Janelle Monáe used to dress. Those like dressing like a guy, like suits but freaking it in your own type of way. So that's like the theme. See what happens with that. There's a lot of big hype about the Met Gala this year because Nicki Minaj. People are excited to see Nicki Minaj. She's supposed to appear, and I guess people miss Nicki Minaj. Haven't seen her in a while, And she's like a staple at the Met Gala now, like a Lady Gaga, etc., etc. So should be great. I don't know. Spoiler alert. Don't really care. LeBron was supposed to be there too, but he's not coming because they just got their ass beat. So it would be weird for him to show up and be having a great time. You should be upset about this. I understand. Brian, I got you. And also, just so we know, Kanye dropped Donda 2, the official version of Donda 2 last week. In case you didn't know, I think I briefly mentioned it on the episode or whatever. He dropped the official version of Donda 2. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, all that. And the first week numbers are in, and he quietly sold a hefty, nice, we talking, woo, 5.9K in the first week. Kanye West dropped a project, and it sold 5.9K in the first week. Yay. Yay. Between you and me, it's not working. And that's all I got for you. Remember to comment, like, subscribe. The Culture Lock Rundown. Lock in. You guys can stay, but I'm out. Peace.